Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy E.
Thank you, Quarantine. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If My Sock Summer mentions his time on the West Coast or blames his kids for something, you drink. And if I fuck up the intro, which is much shorter today, or make MSS appear to be dumb, you drink. I'll try not to do that today. It's just us, MSS. It's just us. I'll try not to make you
not a lot
appear to be dumb. But
a lot of awkward
talking
science.
about drinking, guys. You could, of course, make both of us drink for $1.08. Or more. We would prefer more. MSS,
more is
would
good.
You like more or less than $1.08?
Dude, I think I need $6.99 to have a drink tonight. I would enjoy that. 69 is a good number. So let's just do that. Let's do $6.99.
MSS, what are you drinking, my friend?
Well, Chorizy, it is a celebration tonight. So I thought I would get out a special bottle. Although I don't like seeing a person lose their job, but I also, when you see somebody that's so horrible at their job that they lose they lose 21 times in a row, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna break out the good bottle, and I got the E.H. Taylor, the small batch, the red label. It's one of my favorites. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get that out tonight. 100 proof. Let's have some fun, no loaf. It's going to be a quicker show, less nasally, so it should be good.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know
true.
That, right?
You are kind of fucked up.
My shit's all fucked up right now.
What are you drinking tonight, Chorizy?
Baby, I got the Brewer's Kitchen.
Shocker.
As always, the Brewer's Kitchen. It's delicious. I wasn't going to give up on that.
I purchased 2 beers to have tonight for the drinking, and then right before I was going to go, I was like, don't do that. You got to go to the gym tomorrow. Don't fucking drink those beers. So I will drink those some other time.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. My allergies also have been acting up and then the weather is just all over the place, right? So we went last night. We took the bus downtown to go watch fucking classical music in Millennium Park. And it's weird because I hadn't been downtown like really for like a long time, right? Like I've dropped people off or whatever, but I've never spent an extended period of time down there. And first off, didn't know I could bring alcohol to the pavilion. Yeah, had no idea. I wish I would have known, because I would have taken some bourbon. I would have got nice and toasty. And then the bus ride would have been even more fun on the way home. But when we get in there, and the kids are just loving it, and they're just running around going ballistic. And then when we listen to music, and you can't really see what's going on stage, so we had to walk up there so they could see what's going on. And last night, my daughter goes, "Do you know how to play those instruments?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. No, I don't know. How could I know how to play a cello? No, I don't know how to do that."
What a loser you are!
I am a loser. I'm
immediately.
Like, they know I can play like the guitar barely. And so, you learn one Olivia Rodrigo song, they think you can do Beethoven's Fifth. But we're down there, and we're walking out, and we're going to leave, and the Bean is there, and the Bean has been under construction, right? The area around it, so you couldn't get to it, but now you can get to it. And we go up there, and we were like walking around it, and the girls are just going ballistic again, because it's, it's pretty damn cool. This big, huge mirror thing just sitting there. And I look at my wife, and I was like, we've never brought them to here, right? And they're like, no. And the girls are like, yeah, this is our first time ever seeing this. So we have like an 8 and a 6-year-old that have never been to the Bean in Chicago. And I was like, man, that seems really bad. Like,
did they not know about it?
I mean, I think they've seen it or heard about it, but never seen it. Like, they've never actually been there. And I was like, wow. So it was cool. It was cool for them to at least get to see that. And then we got on the bus, And 5 minutes into the ride, the youngest one goes, I have to pee really bad. And I was like, well, you have to wait till we get home. And apparently it worked because she waited until we got home. So I was like, now I'm going to be not trusting you when you say you have to go to the bathroom really bad, because apparently you can hold on to it a little bit longer than you think. But good times in Chicago. You got to enjoy this great weather when it's fucking nice and cool out, right? Like, you got to just enjoy this. So we were out enjoying it so much that I can't fucking see out of my left eye. There's so much fucking pollen in there. How are you doing tonight, Chirizi?
I mean, I feel your pain, man. Like I used, when I was a kid, I was outdoorsy, man. I was outside all the time. We would go camping, we would go fishing and shit. All this, I was always outside. Now as an adult, I don't do that as much. I go to the lake house with beef for a few days. My entire face just is like ruined with sinus shit and like all this
crazy, right?
It's just, as soon as I hit the outdoors now. Meanwhile, like, Cornsey is getting swarmed and dragged away by mosquitoes. Like, we have just devolved into Todd and Margot from National Lampoon's Christmas
Oh,
Vacation.
no shit. Oh,
Like, I mean, like, you next time you see us, we're gonna be jogging in those like silver
sweatsuits.
Yeah. I mean, it's over for me. I think I'm confident now to say, outside has had it with me. It's over. It's over. I just got to stay inside from now on.
Man, I love being outside, but yeah.
we got a quick drink here
Shit
from
everywhere.
our guy Senor Socks. He says Grady Sizemore season. Hey Pedro, be
man.
well. They did tell him to be well. Cheers, my friends. All right,
another one too. We got another one.
Southside Mofo says Jimmy Buffett made $1 billion on fork boards. Cheers.
Cheer and you know what? Fucking cheers to you, Southside Mofo, for listening and following directions. $6.99. I love you. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you come to Cork and Carry tomorrow, Chirizi will buy you a drink.
Hell yeah, I will. That goes for everybody.
Everybody.
Well, not everybody. Just Southside Mofo.
Yeah.
But MSS today, I mean, obviously all the news comes out.
A lot of shit happened today.
Right? But, you know, I was just talking about Beef, and one of the things Beef put out there was like, hey, stop putting Chris Russo in my timeline. Because Chris Russo, I don't know if I'm sure
Mad
everybody
Dog.
who's watching has seen it. Mad Dog Chris Russo does this shit. Yeah, exactly. About how Jerry Reinsdorf is a bad owner. And I think everyone collectively in White Sox Twitter was like, yeah, so fucking what? We know this.
We're aware.
This is not news. It shouldn't be news to anyone in the fucking league. But Emma says, why you got to sideswipe Jerry Krause?
Right.
I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I can hear his widow crying in the distance because once again, Jerry Krause just getting sideswiped out of nowhere.
And who was the other guy that he credited? Torrey Holt? Was it?
Yes, it was Torrey Holt, the receiver from the Rams. I think it was Rod Thorne, the guy who
Rod
actually
Thorne.
drafted.
There you go. Thorne.
But
see, the glasses don't make me that much smarter.
I mean, it was insanity. Why did you bring that up? Why even bring that up? Just say, without Michael Jordan, I don't think he would have had those 6 championships, but it doesn't matter because I'm talking about baseball and he has been a terrible baseball owner.
Right.
You could just leave it at that.
But
Jerry
also,
Krause got to get trampled in this shit.
And listen, far be it from me to be a guy that's going to, defend Jerry Reinsdorf, especially in this case, like in the baseball case. But like the guy did win 6 championships and then a 7th with the Sox. I'm not saying I'm defending him, but listen, you can't say that he got lucky because he had Jordan, and he should think the other guy who drafted him, he should be, both of them are lucky. It was just a once in a lifetime thing. It was going to happen.
You're right though. You're right because let's say you could just go, hey man, this guy gave that city 7 championships across 2 sports.
Yeah.
And in the last 20 years, he has fucking destroyed both teams.
Both of them.
And like, you could easily say that and go like, time has passed him by. He's a terrible owner. Instead, you got to go, Jerry Krause didn't do shit, which is weird.
That's a
weird take.
It's a weird take. You're right. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
That wasn't the weird part, MSS. And I need to know something from you because you're a stern guy.
I am.
Beef put out that tweet. Stop putting Chris Russo into my feed.
Yeah.
And I took, sometimes you take a Google Images shot, right? Like you just go
Right.
like,
Yeah,
let me
no,
see if
yes,
this exists. Let me
It
see if
came
this
up.
exists
Yeah.
because I think it would really piss Beef off if I found a Chris Russo shirtless picture. And I was like, just threw it in, not expecting anything to come back. But there's a lot of them. There's, I dare say, as someone who is not in great shape and is often without their shirt on the internet, there might be too many pictures of him without his shirt off. Okay. Why, MSS? Why are there so many? What was going on Howard Stern that there's so many of these?
I don't remember. I know he was on the show and he had him on because I'm just looking it up right now. They had him on because he was fighting with his partner. Who was the other guy that he was with? Mike and the Mad Dog. It was Mike and the Mad Dog. So Mike, whoever. Francesca. Yes. So when
Hold
he was,
I got a quick one thing from Danny Reyes here. He says, "I like how you don't call him Mad Dog. Laugh my ass off." You know why I don't call him Mad Dog? That guy sucks. He doesn't deserve a nickname. All right, as guys who go by their nicknames, fuck him. He doesn't deserve one. That's why.
I like calling him that. But no, there was this time where like they were real good together, you know, like him and Mike were together and they were doing their thing. Then they broke up and then they weren't around anymore. And then I think Sirius got both of them back, or somehow they got back together and it became a thing. So they had to interview him.
So yeah, I get that, but why is he
got his shirt off? See, I don't know. I think they said, you know, George Takei was there. I'm looking at that picture. It's got George Takei in there. I don't know. George likes men. Maybe George asked if he would take his shirt off, and so he did. I don't know. That guy's crazy. Mad Dog is crazy. I don't know. You know, if you've listened to him very much,
George Takei's telling me to take my shirt off. I'm taking it off too. All right, I get it.
Zulu. You know.
Let's get a quick drink here.
What Zulu says, Zulu goes.
From our friend Missy. Well, our old friend Missy, not a friend anymore. She says, so we're no longer friends. But see yous after the game Saturday to celebrate Buckets on Beef. Maybe we'll rekindle our friendship on Saturday, but tomorrow we're gonna not be friends. That's unacceptable. I don't care if it's your birthday. I'm going to the Sox game on my birthday.
Why can't you come before? It's 5:30. Are you eating
5.
dinner?
We're gonna be going at like 5.
Are you gonna be eating dinner at Denny's or something? Is there a special?
Unreal.
Is your old boyfriend got to get in there early so he can get his discount?
Thank you for the drink, though.
Cheers. And happy birthday tomorrow.
Let's wait on that. We'll see.
Well, we should still say happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And speaking of birthdays, happy birthday to Yumper.
Yeah, happy birthday, Yump.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
I heard he's 57.
Right. MSS, why don't you pay some bills, buddy?
All right, let's do that. Change is good, and at Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp, change is happening this month. First up, all 4 locations will be getting sandwiches on the menu. Choose between hot honey chicken or a perch sandwich. They've upgraded the bun and went from chicken strips to a patty. Make it a combo for only $5 more. And starting July 18th, plant-based shrimp is coming to Lawrence's. Created and produced in Chicago, Shockin' Shrimp is 100% plant-based, breaded shrimp that looks and tastes like the real thing. Shockin' Shrimp is made from the root vegetable konjac, a starchy tube-like plant rich in fiber. It contains no soy, no nuts, no dairy, and no GMO products. So stop by one of our 4 locations today or visit our website at chicagoshrimp.com to place an order for your pickup or delivery. Come see why Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp has been serving up the seafood you crave since 1950.
Oh, I was not expecting that. I froze up for a minute.
I was wondering what was going on. I was like, am I supposed to do this? Because if I am, I didn't do a very good job.
I froze up. I lost you for a second, and then the commercial was over. I'm back on screen.
Okay, so hold on a second. Let me do something, and then we'll go back into our regularly scheduled program. Okay? All right. Just like we did last week, if you go to our website, and this is an easier way to do it, 108.ing/merch, 108.ing/merch, and use the code LIVEBY5, LIVEBUY 5. You can get $5 off the merch while we are running the podcast, or while we are recording the podcast. It doesn't work if you listen to it tomorrow. It'll be gone. First 5 people that buy something right now, say $5 plus you get a fucking free gift, and then that will come right to you. So just live by 5. So go ahead and hit that up. And we bring you back to your not that one, regularly scheduled program.
Nicely done, MSS. Nicely done. I appreciate the assist there. But very important news tonight. It came out this morning about little before 9 in the morning. It was something I was not expecting today. I was kind of expecting this Sunday, to the point where for our show tomorrow night, I was going to give you guys an over-under on Grifol games managed the rest of the season at 2.5. We came in under because he got fired this morning. So he's gone. Montoya's gone. Eddie Rodriguez. I think I'm missing somebody, but they cleared out
I don't know
a bunch.
The other guys,
and they bring in Grady Sizemore to manage the team the rest
Promote,
of the way.
Right? Promote him?
Yeah, I mean, he was the major league coach, which is, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
And then they add to the group Doug Sisson to be the bench coach, Justin Jershell as third base coach, and then I think it's like field coordinator or something for Mike Ellinger. Interesting thing about those three is that they all have minor league managerial experience.
Yes.
Jershell was just
Jershell?
moments.
Is it Jershell?
It's Jershell, I believe.
Jershell,
just like yesterday, was the manager of the Knights, so they bring him up to the team to be the third base coach. But they're really surrounding Grady Sizemore with some people who have managed before, because Grady has like no experience at all. So I think they like him. They like the attitude that he brings, and they want him to be surrounded with other people that can manage, so that he doesn't make any dumb mistakes, which is a nice thing to do. But
it'd been nice if they would have done it with Pedro too, right?
They did try
him with some people.
They did try that because Montoya was not his hire. Montoya's a former manager. They did try that.
They kind of pushed it on him, yeah.
But yeah, it didn't work.
Nope.
Pedro's gone. MSS, why does it matter? What changes? How do you feel about the additional firings and the promotions?
So on the surface level, him getting fired shows some basic accountability, right? I feel like people are saying, okay, somebody's got to pay for this, right? So we're going to fire Pedro because there's no way in hell the team is this bad, right? So they're just like, this is going to show the accountability by getting rid of this person. And that's like basically why it matters. What changes? I don't think a lot changes. Like what I mean, your team is still awful. We've run the gamut here. Okay. We started with Rick Renneria, where everyone was like, he's not a good coach, right? He's not a good manager. He can't do this with his team. He mismanages the bullpen and blah, 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 all this crap. Right. And then we're like, so we get rid of him. Then we bring in Tony La Russa, and people are like, listen, this team is better than what he's doing. They're winning in spite of him. He is not managing very well. He's not a good manager. He also is horrible, and that's why this team is just outperforming. And then with Pedro, it was now the guys just suck, and the manager, he sucks too. We got both, right? We went from good team, bad manager, or no bad team, good manager, to bad manager, good team, to bad. Just bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what's important.
I think some injuries do play a part in it. I mean, like Tim Anderson falling apart is not great. Yohan Moncada, who was very good for a while, no longer being good and being hurt all the time. Yasmani Grandal, we got those good years out of him, and then we got the bad years. We got, Lance Lynn similarly. So like there was a lot of like falling off of players, and the team now stinks. No one should think otherwise. And if you do see a bounce back, this has been studied time and time again. A lot of times the bounce back you see after a manager is fired has very little to do with the manager being fired. You're looking at a team that is performing terribly. And some of that is just bad luck, is just variance, right? Just like,
right.
I assure you that the White Sox are a terrible team. Are they a 240 win percentage team? Probably not. They're probably not actually that bad with a guy like Garrett Crochet on the team. Guys that have played well during the season. They're probably not as bad as that. But if they regress towards the mean a little bit, it's probably not because Grady Sizemore is doing something special in there. It's probably because, you know, when they bring in Tuki Toussaint and he throws nothing near the plate, it's someone swung at those versus not swinging at them. That's going to be like the difference in wins and losses down the way. Like if they for some reason win more games, these are all still a bunch of stinky players. Like
very stinky.
And like, I hope Grady Sizemore really instills some good things in the younger players, but like, it's a bad team. They're going to continue to be bad. Yeah, you might see some different things. The things that I'm looking to see MSS are more along the lines of like Gavin Sheets not playing, right? like Dominic Fletcher and Corey Julks getting a lot more at bats down the stretch.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking at, you know, maybe some different usage of pitchers, but the bullpen's so terrible.
It's not good.
I mean, if we didn't have this Pedro thing to talk about tonight, MSS, maybe we'll use this later. I was going to just give you a list of things that are bad and ask you if the White Sox bullpen is better or worse than that. Like, for example, like shitting your pants in public. Is the White Sox bullpen better or worse than shitting your pants in public? Like, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. Call. So yeah, I don't expect to see like a big change, but I do expect to see a little bit different, you know, usage of guys that we've wanted to see. I would like to see some more guys come up, right? I would like to see them use some more guys from the minor leagues. I wouldn't be mad if at the end of this season, after September, after rosters expand, if we see Edgar Carroll come up and we never see Chucky Robinson again, right? Like, if you're gonna do that, I get why maybe you don't want Pedro to be around for this.
Do you think that you have a Chucky up there right now just to double make sure that this guy sucks and we can't really move forward with this guy?
No, I mean, like Chucky Robinson is there because they don't have another option.
I know,
right? Like
they don't have anybody else. Nobody else. You couldn't bring another, even like a little minor league guy, and just throw him in there and to see what happens.
He's that guy.
He's old though. He's old,
but you don't want to bring up Carroll yet. You let him mature in the minors. But you could give him a cup of coffee at the end of the season, because you may expect. I expect him to be on the team next year. Like, I'd be fine with that. But you don't want to burn an option or anything right now, right? There's not a reason to do it.
It's not like you don't get a free pass just to bring somebody up.
Exactly. You do in September. So
right. Yes.
Let's get a drink here from Southside Bum. He says, "Cheers, gents. I know you said you're not friends with Missy, but we still cool." Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course, my friend. Yes.
Absolutely. Disregard the age joke I made earlier about you getting a special because of your age. Don't worry about it.
But in general, MSS, I don't see that that's being a big change. But I think when I look at it on its face, something that to me of like why it matters and what I'm interested in about it is that, one, I don't think they wanted to do this. I don't think that they wanted to fire Pedro mid-season, because you look at all the maneuvering you have to do when something like this happens, right?
They're used to it though.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. They've rarely fired mid-season. In the Tony case,
well, I guess he was sick.
He was sick, so like Miguel Cairo just filled in, right? His bench crew filled in. You didn't like they had to go. They really had to go and look and go, here's all the people loyal to Pedro. Here's his boys. And thanks for the comments for mentioning Mike Tosar. I have him lower in my notes because I was going to ask MSS if Pauly D has heard about this, but regardless, they take all his boys and say, you all got to go now, right? And then they got to backfill all these guys with people around their org, but like you don't want to pull Jerchley from AAA and then have to put Pat Listach behind him. You don't want to have to do all this maneuvering mid-season. It's at the least it's annoying, right? But like the weird thing here is the Grady Sizemore piece, because putting Grady Sizemore in there, you're really putting someone who's kind of off the radar, out of nowhere. even like this morning when I saw it, I was like, if they're going to do something outside the box, I would do like Drew Butera, because you might see him as the replacement here. But what I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe it's just that they can go to Grady Sizemore and be like, we're going to have you do this. We like you. We want to put this on your resume for you. But you have no chance at being the manager next year. Like, you are way too green to all of this.
Right.
We're not going to put you in that position, but we want to give you some career growth. We want to give you the feel of what all this is and all that. I could see it going that way, because if they're truly considering Grady Sizemore, it's weird. It's weird
very
idea.
weird. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like an AJ Brzezinski weird, like,
right. It is
somebody with
it
absolutely no experience, except allegedly, and I don't know how true this is, but I read it. He was working with the Diamondbacks last year as an intern for like $15 an hour, and now he's a major league coach or a manager. So I mean, that's just kind of odd. But that was with the promotions wise, moving these guys up into the system. Justin, what did you say? Jershly. I don't know. I thought it was Jershel, whatever. Anyway,
I always did too. But I've heard it Jershly like 30 times today.
So you remember when he was like the hot shit? He was the hot shit, and everyone's like, he's gonna be it. He's gonna be it. And then that talk cooled way the fuck off.
Yeah,
because they stopped winning. And so now you're bringing him up to see maybe how he adjusts to it, or maybe it's just a good promotion for him. You'd be like, hey, you're not doing very good down there anymore, but you can come be third base coach, and this would make sense, like kind of with the way Jerry kind of does things, where instead of firing the person that is everyone likes, he just kind of pushes them forward and says, here, go ahead, you go to this position. We're going to get somebody new to do what you used to do. So I don't know exactly what's happening there, because I'd always heard, you'd heard so much about him. He was a whiz kid, and then it just dropped right the fuck off. So, I don't know.
So let me give you a conspiracy theory then. MSS. Did they bring him up in this process, knowing they could have just brought in Sisson and Gallinger and said, we got two guys who've managed in the minors, they have experience, we would bring him up. If they bring up Jershly and they go, all right, we've moved him off of that position as the manager at AAA. We've installed Pat Listach. We kind of want him, maybe want Sergio Santos there. We don't know, but he's out of there now.
Right.
And we're never even gonna talk about sending him back. It's gonna be up to the next manager if he even wants Jershly on the staff. You want no? All right, Justin, we know you like Rick Hahn liked you a lot, but we're gonna have to say goodbye. Are you buying that conspiracy?
I'm definitely buying it, but as proved today in Pedro's outgoing remarks during text, I was completely wrong that Getz was the one that probably recommended him for the job, because he did not thank Getz whatsoever. He did not say, hey, thanks for the opportunity, buddy. He didn't even mention his name. So clearly that's like I got caught cheating kind of moment. You don't even mention that person. So I don't know. It's a very weird that I was wrong. On that. So I don't know. Me buying into conspiracy theories might not be the best thing, for the conspiracy theory, but I agree with that. I think that is it's a roundabout way to fire somebody that you like, if they're a good person, but they're just not good at their job anymore.
Well, how about me buying into what Chris Getz is actually saying? Let's get into that, because
do it.
The one of the few ways that I can make sense of the Grady Sizemore thing is that they don't want anyone from within the org. They're putting him in just so that he fills the shoes, that the players like him. We'll get through the end of the season with this situation. We'll make it as tenable as possible, and it'll be great for Grady, good for him.
Yeah,
and we'll see what he does, and maybe the next manager will want to keep him on the staff, but we want to go outside the org to get this manager. I want to believe it, MSS. It's like me staring into the sky like the guy from the X-Files, man. I want to believe this. There's part of me that just will not allow me to. I just need to be grounded and be like, you know what? No, it's probably some terrible idea that we didn't even think about, that like Roger Bossard's going to manage the team next year. Like, that's my brain cannot escape that, but I want to believe that they will go outside the org, that they'll hire somebody from, and not just outside the org, but someone who is from a good organization, like someone from like the Dodgers or the Rays or something, right? Like something where you go like, oh,
Not the Marlins.
I respect that organization. The Skip Schumacher thing, I don't like it. MSS, I don't like it.
So Pedro was outside the organization. That worked wonderful.
It was. And
look at how wonderful that worked out.
He was from an org I don't like. That's why I'm saying, like, I want it to come from an org that I believe in it. And now, am I being naive for believing that they might possibly do that?
Oh God, see, this is where it's just so hard, because you want to think, we've been down this road, and I posted the GIF today because our guy Mike Schur was like, I want to believe that they're not going to rehire Tony La Russa, but we know what happens in these. This was before they named Grady Sizemore the interim coach, or interim manager. So we're like, okay, it's not going to happen. It can't be that bad again, and then it does. Then it gets worse, right? And so it could happen again. And then we have to. It can't get worse than Tony La Russa, and then it did get worse than Tony La Russa. So it's just, we don't know. Can it get worse than Pedro Grifol? I don't think it can.
Winless team.
Just not. I mean, I don't know how you get worse. His managerial record is just abysmal. He has like 89 wins and 190 losses or something.
Worst win percentage in White Sox history. Yeah,
it's crazy. But I saw this going, and somebody said it, and it made sense. It's like the promotion of Grady Sizemore just shows that we're going to take after the Indians, and we're going to start doing, or the Guardians, and start doing stuff like they are. So we're going to get all their cast offs now. Didn't work with the Royals, so now we're going to move on to the Guardians and then see if we can make that work. And we'll just take what they have and that we can't work with, which might be better.
I think that like Grady Sizemore is so far removed from the Guardians, though, that like I don't know that I buy that. I got a couple drinks here. Sharon's ex-husband Chris says, gonna recreate the McChicken video if the Sox make the playoffs next year.
Cheers.
We got Matty Mitch out of nowhere. I haven't seen him in a while. Been a minute, fellas. My only question for the new manager: what's your favorite Fleetwood Mac song?
Oh,
Keep doing the Lord's work, fellas. Cheers.
All of them.
That is going to be on my mind when we meet this new manager. Is like, do they have any type of personality? I don't care what kind. Just is their personality? That's going to be key.
Getz also said in his presser, he said, we were going to get somebody outside of the organization that's currently in another team's uniform.
Right. So coaching at some
level. It's a bench coach, somebody that has some experience somewhere is what they're looking for. So
MSS, just real quick, I want to ask you, rest of the season, how's it go?
This is where it's so confusing, because it's going to be the same. I don't think it's going to, there's going to be like maybe a mild push, like what you're seeing from the guys that just left the Sox, right? Like everyone's ready to anoint Eloy as somebody that is like so much better than we thought he was. No, he's not. He's having a bump. He's having a little bump. When Tony Russo was gone and it was Miguel Cairo, right, that came in and started doing some shit. He got this team. They won. They started winning again. They won like 8 out of 10 games or some shit, right? There was a bounce that just happens. Right. So we're going to see that. But then we're going to go right back to where we are. And then we don't have a Fetty. And we don't have, we don't have Tanner Blanks. We don't have Paul DeYoung at home run. We don't have these other guys that helped us win games before. It's still bad. I mean, winning one game, while it was fine. Whatever. It was a very weird feeling to have, because they were like, man, now we can't even make history. We've sucked so much. Why can't we get something, that we've been so bad? We've been down so bad. That's like making enough money not to get assistance from the government, right? Like you're still broke as fuck, right? Like you're still poor. You can't do anything fun, but you don't qualify for the benefits because you make 20 grand. You're like, Well, fuck. And then the guy next to you is loading up on fucking all the pop in the world and getting all the nice fucking Hostess Twinkies and the cupcakes. And you don't have shit because you can't spend that money because you make too much money and you have to be smart about it. And you got to feed your family on the fucking goddamn spaghettis. And that's just what it is. And so this is where we're at. This is where we're at, Terezi. This is where we're at. We're not broke. It's not going to be like the worst, but we're not anything. It still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think we're broke, but I think they end up going something ridiculous like 15-30 or something in the last stretch here, and just give people hope that like with 15 out of 30 wins that the team has somehow gotten better. It is not.
Yeah. And what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
I don't know what they're going to do, but I know what you're going to do.
Oh, you're going to put me into this position?
Yeah, I think you're going to pay some bills in just a moment.
Hi, I'm My Sox Summer, famous White Sox Twitter personality. If you know me, you know I like a deal. And at Mazda of Orland Park, the deals are plentiful. Looking to enter the plug-in hybrid conversation? Mazda of Orland Park has you covered. Lease a 2025 Mazda CX-7 PHEV for only $517 a month. Imagine getting 490 miles per tank. Holy shit, that's a ton of miles. If you already own a Mazda and are looking to upgrade, current Mazda owners can get a loyalty reward towards the purchase or lease of a new Mazda. Mazda Loyalty Reward provides $1,000 for current Mazda customers who purchase or lease a new 2025 Mazda vehicle. And finally, if you're looking to buy new in 2025, take advantage of Mazda's 2.9 APR financing for 36 months. Save some money while driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
All right.
Man. More.
Time for some more White Sox talk. If you haven't had enough already.
I know. That's pretty awesome.
We got the Cubs coming in tomorrow.
By the way. If you're watching this live on YouTube, there's only 4 more chances to save $5 on our merch. Go to 108.ing/merch. Use the code LIVEBY5 and you can save $5 on your order while we are recording this live on the YouTubes. Carry on, Tracy.
Well, I was just gonna say that we got the Cubs down at the rate wherever the fuck the Sox play. For 2 games. Weird 2-game series.
2 games.
But tomorrow night,
there you go. Oh yeah, look at that.
We're going to be over at Cork and Carry at the park. We're going to be there. We're going to start probably around like 5 o'clock. We got our guy, Chris Lanuti from Sox in the Basement with us.
Yep.
And then Angie Taylor from 95.5 will be there giving away Metallica tickets.
Yes.
So definitely pop in there, man. It's going to be a good time. I sent the agenda around yesterday. As you can imagine, it changed a bit.
Things
today.
have changed,
but we still got we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be pretty crazy, and then we're gonna walk over and watch the Cubs and Sox play.
Yep.
And MSS, I want to talk just a little bit about the Cubs and what we should be expecting in this series. But I was like, okay, let me do a little bit research on the Cubs. I haven't been following that closely. I know they're hovering around 4th or 5th place in their division.
Yep.
Which is where they're still at. They're about 9.5 back. They're
9 games back. Yep.
5 back in the wild card. They're 5 back in the wild card, but there's a lot of teams to jump.
They're the 8th in the wild card right now.
Yeah, and so I put on, like Locked On Cubs and something else, and I was expecting a similar doom and gloom as to what I would get from a White Sox podcast. Now, obviously, the White Sox are on a historic pace now for losses. But being that far back, I think that there would be some trepidation from Cubs fans as to like, what does this season become when they expect it to be pretty good? Not the case. Not the case. They've won four or five of the last series. And both of the things that I turned on, they were pretty excited to be coming to play the White Sox. They feel like they're on their way right back into contention. Man. So from my standpoint, MSS, I was walking into this like, this is going to be two teams where the fan bases don't actually care that much about what's going on the field. They're going to be out to have some fun times at the park, enjoy some brewskis, and go about their business. I think the Cubs fans are really want this series, this 2-game series, which makes me want the White Sox to win at least.
Yes.
Like, I'm very excited now for these games. I want to see the Sox pull one out just to kind of, shit on their parade a little bit.
Well,
and I know it's rain on their parade, but it is Dave Matthews Band Day, so it's shit on their parade. All right,
man, you're wearing that Riot Fest shirt, and there was a little Riot Fest versus Benny the Bull action going on today.
Oh, really? How about that?
Yeah, Riot Fest apparently. Did you see the Benny the Bull video? Him and Tommy Hawk and Staley the Bear went out. They went out to the bridge.
Watching a lot of other stuff today.
That's good. You were watching some Cubs stuff. They went out to the bridge and they did like a memorial for the shit on the bridge, the shit off the bridge, and they put up a plaque and they put flowers there and they cried and all that shit. And then Riot Fest posted, "Hey, great plaque idea. Wish we would have done that first." And someone was like, "You're not honestly picking a fight with Benny the Bull, are you?" And he's like, and they're like, "No, seriously, we're being honest. It was a really good idea. We just wish we would have done it like a year ago, And then like it was good. And so then they also, the Riot Fest also had that ticket where they just said, "Hey, everyone that retweets this, if who gets hired as
if Ozzy
gets rehired as a manager, they get a free ticket to Riot Fest." And then the guy's like, "This will be the tweet that gets me fired. I finally get fired from Riot Fest." I thought that was good. No, I'm agreeing with you that if they want it, it's like big brother, little brother syndrome. I hate saying that, but it is. But if they want that toy, I know when my oldest wants something, the littlest is going to go right after it. It's just me like, I want that too. And it's like, fuck you. You can't have anything nice. We don't have anything nice. You can't have anything nice either. So yes, dude, how big would it be if they get swept? You know how insane that stadium will be on Friday and Saturday? If they get
even just the one game is problematic, right? Like one loss here is problematic for them. And, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Sox because the Sox, while they have Garrett Crochet going on Friday, on Saturday, it's flexing. And flexing has been awful. Yeah, and flexing's going against, I think, Justin Steele and Jameson Taillon have both done very good. We don't have to face Shota, but like we do have to face those two guys, and those are their other two best pitchers. So it's going to be a tough
5
go
against Shota.
It's going to be a tough go, MSS. But I'm a little bit more into it now. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, we could talk about how bad the Sox suck, but you guys, you can't go over there assuming you're just going to win 2 games. I mean, like you just can't. We can say it all we want, but they can't. And so now I'm a little feisty about this. But we got a couple drinks here I want to get to. Chris McGowan says, "Deep manager talk. Here's a little cheddar for MSS and the family Shed Aquarium or other Chicago attraction fund. There are free days too." Cheers, Chris.
We did go to the Nature Museum during a free day this year. So
our guy
Danny
paid
Reyes $45 a park. So
he says, "Cheers, guys. I just got my merch. Thanks for the bonus gifts." Cheers, Danny.
You are welcome. Gave him, I think, 2 statues. So
like full size statues?
Yes. One was actually the Jackie Robinson statue that got stolen earlier this year at Kansas City. I shipped that right over to Danny. I knew he would know what to do with it.
So MSS, you put up did you put up the bingo card yet?
I did not put up the bingo card yet.
Okay, because one of the things you have on there is and we'll show it tomorrow and everything, but
yes,
you've got over 1.5 vomits?
Yes, piles of vomit, piles of puke. Yes,
I think that's an easy over.
You think?
Like, I know it's only 2 games. But here's the thing, because the 2-game series is weird. First of all,
it is.
But second of all, they're both night games. Like the Saturday night game for this is such a terrible, a worse idea than the Sunday off.
No. We experienced this, I think, the last time we had a weekend like series, and it was on a Saturday, and they opened the lots for a 6 o'clock game at like noon. I mean, and that was just like, you can't do that. I mean, I know people are going to be lined up and ready to go. Folks, it's irresponsible to allow people to drink for 6 hours in the parking lot and then go into a baseball game and drink for 7 more innings. It's irresponsible only in the fact that people are just going to fight and fuck your shit up, right? You don't want these people coming to your, you wouldn't allow somebody to drink in your yard for 6 hours and then come to your party, right? Because they're going to fuck your shit up. They're going to puke. They're going to fight. They're going to do all sorts of things. They're going to drink your good liquor. You know, it's like everything. They're going to piss in your plants. You know, there will be a fern that it gets ruined, you know, with a bunch of piss. So
you're right. It's
I don't, it's going to be bad. But I like fights. I know. Yes. That Danny.
So Danny Reyes asks, what's the over for the fights? I think you had that at 3, which is
2.5.
Might be the first inning. That might be the first inning.
Let me make sure, but I think it's 2.5. Shit. I'm like, you know, trying to open it up, and it's fucking Chris Nalnudi's face is all over everything because, you know.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's what I'm dealing with right now.
I mean,
no, it's 3. It's 3.
It's 3, yeah, and
it's gonna be 3.5. Should I do 3.5?
It should be 3. I think Sean Jankowski's got that. Yeah, 3.5. 3.5 sounds right, okay. Because the left field is going to have 2 at least. At least one a night, right?
Yes.
Section 109 has never had a Cubs Sox series where there wasn't a fight. It's never happened. The entire time that I've been going to games, which is like in Section 108, which is since 2008, always a fight in Section 109. It's
also the puke pile over there.
There's always puke there too.
Puke over there too.
So much fighting. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't see us getting out of there with any less than 3. So I think 3.5 is a good one.
Okay.
Because
so
is there that
change
fourth
that to 3.5.
Is there an upper deck fight? That's what we're really asking there. That's what we're really asking. So we'll see.
It's going to be great that the upper deck's going to actually have to be open. You know, it's like,
yeah,
they haven't had the upper deck open in a while. It'll have to be open for the Cubs Sox. I'm assuming it will have to be open for the Yankees, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. The Cubs Sox series notoriously brings out the worst fans every year. It has ever since I've been going to it since like 2012, and it's like it's the worst. It's the Cubs suck, Sox suck. It's not the real Sox fans. It's not the people you see all year. It's the people that get one game a year they show out for the Sox, right? And they like, I gotta show them. You know, I'm gonna show them that I'm a real fan. I'm gonna put on my fucking Joe Creedy jersey, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna yell at them. You know, and then you got the same with the Cubs. You got the guy showing up with his fucking Kerry Wood jersey or his Mark Pryor jersey or Chris Bryant, who's a fucking bucket now. He's coming out and just, you know, doing like, I'm a real fan. To remember 2016, you know, it's like, it's been 8 years, motherfucker. You know, like it's over. It's over. So like you have to move on. You have to move on. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun times. I can't wait to yell at people. I'm gonna drink some beer. For K-Dog, and all the people that, you know, senior Sox that still like me when I was the beer drinking guy. I might drink some beers and get a little rowdy on Saturday. We'll see how it goes.
I love it. I'm excited for that. But MSS, we promised a short show tonight. So
we did.
I think we're going to keep that promise, and I think it's now time for thank yous and GFYs. MSS, who are you thinking are GFY?
I want to thank the good people at the Chicago White Sox front office for finally getting rid of Pedro Grifol. I mean, that's a pretty awesome.
And on a Thursday,
a Thursday, right before fucking you're gonna play the Cubs. Like, knowing when to do something to maximize the reportability and to get all eyes on you is never lost on the White Sox. They understand perfectly how to do that. So dumping him right before the only series that matters in the city of Chicago, so everyone will know that he's been fired. That was good. And then also, and that's another happy birthday to our guy Yumper, who's probably out having a good time with his wife, not watching this show. So, but we just want to make sure that we're saying, hey,
cheers,
happy birthday. Cheers again. So who are you thinking are GFY in there, Teresi?
Well, first, we messed with her earlier, but happy birthday, Missy. We'll see you on Saturday. Cheers.
And we'll come through tomorrow. Cork and Carry, get there at 5. You could get there at 4. A.G. Taylor and those guys, Dan Taylor Slayer will be there at 4 o'clock. partying balls. So get over there and get crazy. You might see us a little early. Don't talk to us.
Get some Metallica tickets.
Yeah,
get some Metallica tickets.
If you see us there early, though, don't talk to us. We're not on stage. We're not talking to you until 5:30. Okay, so don't come over and don't say hi to me. You can say hi to Teresi. Don't say hi to me. Okay.
But I want to thank Beef and Mrs. Beef for having us out to the lake house this past weekend.
Lake house cottaging,
early week, I should say. And then I want to thank Cork and Carrie for inviting us out to be at the show tomorrow. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun.
Judging by this MSS, we got the rapport back. We're rocking it. I feel like we're going to be good tomorrow. What's that MSS?
Big bag of prizes for tomorrow right here, baby.
Yeah. All right, yes. Free stuff. Is that
free
a Yacht Rock hat?
Yeah, Yacht Rock hat.
Yacht Rock night is coming up.
Just like the Titanic, we can wear this motherfucker while the ship goes down at any Sox game. So get out there. We got some other hats in here that you gave me. And then I got a shitload. I have 20 packs of 108 cards featuring Clark right on the front with his big dick hanging out. Ooh. So make sure you get one of those. Those are collector's items. I see them on eBay all the time for at least 5 cents. So come by. Right. Well, say hi to me after 5:30.
We'll see a whole bunch of you tomorrow night at Cork and Carrie.
Cork and Carrie. We'll see you then.
Have a good one.